Good evening, Free Enterprise fans, and welcome to another exciting Week 4 matchup between two of the unbeatens in my very own D Machine group. We have Rhybon versus Korgs in this Highway to the Zemus Zone 6 race. My name's Vitasia. I'm joined on the mic by Ninja. Ninja, I hope everything's going well for you tonight.
Everything's going just fine here. How are you tonight?
Really looking forward to seeing the last one undefeated dropping in this particular group. It's been a really kind of top to bottom solid group. Rhybon and Gorgs, of course, both 3-0. Both of their paths to get here. Let's do a quick review. Rhybon has victories over Wreck-It, Scratch Dragon, and then me that he beat last week. And then Korgs has wins over Scratch Dragon, Duchy, and Golden Shocker. So none of those easy wins in particular, except for the Vitasia win. That guy is not great, but this should be fantastic race to see these two.
Oh, well, yeah, I agree. I mean, I know how Rhybon is. Like I said, well, I mean, me and him were on a team back in a former tournament. There is a reason why he's called an S tier player.
Yeah, he is very good. Because there was a common opponent, I did want to review that, but we start with a Palom and Rydia, so double black mages to get things going, and diamond armor. That's not going to do us any good except for money to get things started, is it?
Yeah, no.
All right, well, this is going to be really interesting to see how these two start off. Normally, you want to keep at least one black mage down, but I don't know if you're going to be able to get away with that when you have double black mages to start. Just as kind of a note, we mentioned Scratch Dragon was a common opponent. Rhybon beat Scratch Dragon by about 20 minutes in their race, and Microcorks beat Scratch Dragon by about 16. So if you want to look at common opponent, you might say that Rhybon has a slight edge, but this is a randomizer. A 4-minute edge is nothing in this.
Yeah, I understand that.
Nice charm ride here in the start of Watery Pass for our Black Mage's second best rod that we can get in the game. So I got to imagine that's going to go pretty quickly on our Palom.
Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit while we have a little bit of time here about these objectives. What are you thinking here as you're looking over these objectives here, Ninja?
Well, I mean, I didn't really look at him very much right away. I'm like, ooh, there's. I mean, double Baron. I mean, you gotta have the key. I mean, other than that, honestly, these flag sets are always kind of weird. Just, yeah, I know Baron. If you don't get Baron, it could be a long race.
Yeah, double Baron and then double Darkness Crystal as well, although the Darkness Crystal is frequently. Korgs does check the free summon. That's a Jin.
I mean, yeah, free fire.
Change Rod, Earth
Jin
Hammer,
is fire,
double
right?
Ogre. Jin is fire, yeah.
Yeah, I never can remember what they call it.
That was a stacked Damsian basement. Double Ogre axes, a Change Rod, so we have rods for both of our Black Mages right now. Plus Ogre axes and Earth Hammer if we find a Sid as well. That was just fantastic to see.
It looks like Korgs is going to go bonking with Rydia.
that power staff plus 10 strength, even a level 1 Rydia can do serviceable damage. It's a Rosa up on Mount Ordeals with a Lunar Sparkle, so we'll see what this has for us.
It's Mr.
Mr. Ledoot. We have some charm arrows, and Rosa is going to be doing aim as best as she can. Great job de-equipping those lit arrows. The Pale Dim does resist all elemental damage, so you kind of have to knock that off.
Yep, that is correct. Oh, and Rydia is taking a nap now.
Yeah, I'm not overly thrilled about this particular setup right now.
The
just
starting
because
party just was, yeah.
Really, to get things rolling, what you're going to want is a dancing dagger, I would think, or a heroine robe of some sort to give Rydia a little bit of survival. Unfortunately, with neither of those, this is either going to be a real painful slog, or you're gonna have to face a reset, which is not ideal.
I mean, Korgs is just trying to run buffer a little bit to help a little bit, but it's gonna be.
Meanwhile, Rhybon, I think, is correctly recognizing the situation for what it is and saying, I need to get a couple levels. I need to get a little bit more power going. And says, nope, resets out of that. But I think I'm on Rhybon's side. When you have a low power party like this, really the preference is make sure that you can do it right. I'd rather spend 5 minutes looting so that I know I can get through a fight rather than take things that aren't going to help me.
Yeah, I completely agree with you on that. Okay, so Korgs is gonna kind of go see what's at Antlion.
Yeah, I'm going to do a little bit of extra looting here in Antlion Cave. I think both of these runners are kind of hunting for a dancing dagger right now. Elven Bow, that's nice to see. Otherwise, it's just a little difficult right now. Even getting one level on that Palom would be nice, just so we can get one of the level 2 spells.
Yeah.
The problem is that's not going to help you out against that Pale Dim.
That is correct.
Oh. Hey, how would we like the gauntlet? I mean, this is where Rydia can kind of one hit. Yeah, this is perfectly fine. You can get a couple of, unless you get, And Rhybon finds the answer. There's the dancing daggers in Mysidia.
I feel this seed has like all kinds of jokes right now.
Well, and I think this is what is interesting about the Sea Neki flag, where you're coming in with minimal equipment, and you really have to adjust the first 5 minutes of your race, depending on what the characters are you draw from the pool. If you have a Cid and you immediately find an Ogre Axe, great. It's you can go ahead and just kind of roll through everything. But with these two characters, you have to acknowledge that you need at least one level. So taking a little bit more time to do some extra looting, some extra shopping, will save you time in the long run.
Oh yes, I totally agree with that. And like one person in chat said, this seed has chosen violence.
Well, and so this is an interesting spot for Korgs as well, because remember, 3-0, Korgs is definitely a solid player, and he got there by, being very, very knowledgeable about how to get through some of these fights in the game. The problem is, you try to push the envelope as best you can. This is gonna be a bad time here. And if you've already had 2 wipes in the first 10 minutes against an opponent like Rhybon, you really start to feel it. And I'm sure Rhybon is even feeling it a little bit because he's not happy about doing extra looting against an opponent as good as Korgs. Meanwhile, Rhybon does get through, is rewarded with some levels in addition with his Rosa. And at this point, probably a little bit more confident. We have more gear, so we can usually get our way around. Hallam now knows some level 2 spells.
Yeah.
But there's our wonderful life potion, so no extra shopping required.
But extra shopping. No.
And Korgs, once he got a level after, like, I think it was the second fight,
Yeah.
then hey, we have Ice 2 at our disposal with that Charm Rod. That's enough to really sweep through the rest of this.
Pretty much.
This scene's got jokes.
It's got all kinds of jokes.
Bacon. And oh gosh, this is just a rough fight anyway. But I mean, Dancing Dagger is going to be doing quite a bit of work. That's 300 to 400 damage around. That's pretty decent damage. Meanwhile, Korgs finds out that, I mean, he needs to keep the levels on Hallam, but just a Dragoon Gauntlet.
Yeah. We get Sarzonks.
Meanwhile, Rhybon, having done some extra looting, and those Dancing Daggers really kind of making relatively quick work of this Bacon. I think, yeah, there goes the body.
Yeah, it'd be crazy for Rhybon, I think.
Meanwhile, Korgs still trucking along. He got some levels with his Palom, but he's gonna have a bad time, unfortunately, because only level 11, doesn't have any levels on his Rydia, even though he does have the Ifrit spell. But not gonna do much against that Bacon who can cast Wall, and the reward is the Magma Key.
Hey, we can get underground now. Yes, I know I went there.
Unironically, we can get underground.
I had to do it. Rhybon's here.
So that will make, I don't know if that changes too much of the routing we do in the overworld. I wonder if Rhybon will hold off on doing Antlion. I know some runners like to take care of it immediately, and it does look like Rhybon's going to go ahead and do that. But save outside, he'll reset out.
I was about to say, even then, he'll get through a lot faster than Korgs did. Because he's already got, like...
So Korgs is going to try to bluff up so that he can get a good shot in on this Bagan. But I think he's going to have a bad time because Bagan punches pretty hard.
Yep.
And Rhybon using his Thor rages here to get through.
Honestly, I was kind of surprised. I almost thought maybe Rhybon would just reset when he saw his gauntlet. I know it could be a possible key item, but yeah.
I think for something this early, you don't dissuade the boss fight from it because it could be something good. I mean, in Rhybon's case, I could absolutely see him resetting out because he already has the magic. But
yeah,
if it's this early, yeah.
Although, thankfully, neither her hoped for a single dip football dream. I mean, technically, Baron in could have the hook.
My go-to rule, and I've discussed this with lots of other members in the community, is
never know.
Just abandon the Fabul one dip dream unless you have a Sid and an Edge and you're just already kitted out to be able to just sweep through.
Yes, I get you on that. And like you said, Rhybon just tipped right out like, nope.
Yeah, I 100% get that. Meanwhile, it does look like we're going to be underground here at about the 15-minute mark. Korgs, taking a rest at the end, says, "Okay, we need to rest up."
So yeah. I would assume his first area will be maybe probably Fey March, though. See what the King Queen spot is, of course.
Well,
also
this is going to be interesting. Yeah, I mean, we'll probably check the freebie just in case the off chance the pan is there.
Yeah.
But I think if I were Rhybon, probably what I would end up doing is taking our siren, and I don't know if we have one or two sirens, going down and immediately cracking an egg just to get our casters a little bit healthy.
Like, what smells like quack and stuff.
Yeah, smells like quack spirit.
Think that's what's gonna happen. Looks like.
Yeah, charm with Palom. We have two sirens, so that's perfect. We're gonna bluff up a bunch until we can get an ice 2 with full power.
Should be enough to do it. Question mark.
Yeah, this is another instance of Rhybon taking his time, knowing that he's underpowered right now, and taking the time to get the power he needs to go fast.
Yeah,
I think it's one thing to kind of struggle bust through some of these bosses, but if you can just power your way through, it's so much nicer.
It looks like he's kind of also setting up for Sling.
Oh, keeping the Rydian knocked over. I can see that.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm figuring what he did, knocking the Rydian over, the Slinger.
He's prepared for an early sling, and I think you gotta do that. And Palom's going to be gaining levels no matter what. Get him up to Quake, and he will take care of kind of all of your black magic needs for the time being.
I mean, I do like the whole sling option, yeah.
The other thing with having a Palom that's online and ready to go, it kind of lessens the importance of doing Dwarf Castle. I know, again, with a Rydia that's underpowered and you don't really have summons are much more difficult to come by in this particular flag set. The importance of getting her online with a larger cast of summons is pretty important, but not so much when you have Quake.
Hey, it's a white spear for the free check.
I wouldn't say no to a Kane, would you?
I wouldn't say no to a Kane or a Cecil. Maybe a Sid. I'm sure Elwood's just staring at me.
I mean, we have Ogre Axes and Earth Hammers coming out all over the place in this particular seed. So
Black Belt's in the armor shop here.
It's good to see. Would love to see someone who can utilize them effectively.
Oh, that king spot is
bad. No, thank you.
And I don't know what Sparkle is. I would have actually just seen what Sparkle was. Well, we know it's not Peldim. So, I mean, Wyvern... Personally, the thing that I would think would be maybe like Plague there at the queen spot.
Plague would be preferred. Well, I don't know, because now our major damage output is casting Quake, so I don't know if that's the
that's what I said
thing to do.
That's what I said. That's why I said Plague. I'm like,
of course, checking my favorite spot. I love checking that Chocobo spot. It's my good luck spot.
Was that in Ordeals? Oh, the Ordeals.
Yeah, the Ordeals Chocobo Forest.
Yeah, there's another guy named Martin likes to check that spot too. That old man.
I don't know why it became kind of popular in the community.
It was.
I love,
So, no, he hasn't went quite full quack yet, has he? Hallam.
He has. I mean, he has Quake. He does have Quake.
Does he have Quake?
Yeah, he did one fight. Yeah. He dropped a save outside Baron and then is going to turn in. This is a Sheila 1 check.
Yeah.
This is an early Sheila 1, and I know exactly why he did this, because the seed that he and I raced last week, everything was gated behind Sheila 1.
Oh.
And he's like, no, we're not doing that again.
Really?
Yeah, literally, I think we had 4 checks that were gated behind Sheila 1.
I mean, that's half a forge. I mean, that's half a requirement.
I mean, it's something, so you got to do it. Meanwhile, Korgs in Ordeals 1 finds ourselves full leg.
Hey, full leg. I mean, sometimes I don't mind quarter leg too, sometimes.
That Rydia. Korgs just can't keep that Rydia up.
Yeah, that Rydia is just... she is a punching bag.
Gets hit with an arrow for 132 and it crumbles. He was probably only like 10 health away from the dialogue. Oh, God, that hurts.
Oh, I love the dialogue.
Okay, combo time. We have the D-Mist just hanging out in Baron.
Oh, this makes all kinds of interesting moves.
Yeah. Rydia's mother is having coffee with Sid. Oh my.
And it looks like Korgs is taking a few fights on Ordeals.
think he's tried to get some power as well and
Yeah.
says, not so much.
Oh, go at Baron too, huh?
I think this will be fine. Yeah.
The new wants to play.
Yeah, the real problem is that,
Oh.
he counters with the blaze, so he's got to be
Yeah,
very mindful of the health.
Yeah, but those 3K quakes, I mean, yeah, and like a almost 3,000 virus. Yeah, it was fine.
Yep. But we have a Sid, someone who can finally
And a
wield
pigtail.
Pinktail. Not
being
an
used right now.
objective.
And also not of any use right now. Oh, is it going to be an elusive, maybe like Demus check?
I mean, yeah, we're going to check Demist, I think, almost immediately.
Of course, come in from the one direction because you always check from the one direction because you don't want to have to come across a package.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of runners who, I think everyone's done that once.
Yes,
You walk in through the front
everybody's done that.
door, and then, Henri his mother is a package, and you're like,
Oh, now I gotta walk it out. No, it's not it's not a package. It's a cabin. I think Elvin approves of that check. Apparently so.
I mean, I'll take a free cabin. I really, really will. Because
Free
if you haven't
cabin, yeah.
found cabins, like those, if you're trying to do early moon bosses and you
Yeah.
haven't found cabins, you're going to have a bad time.
Oh, I know. I just thought it was kind of funny.
Mom bomb at the this early game, man.
I mean, Ordhill's one, Rubicante, fine. Back attack, Mom Bomb. Yeah. And Ray is just still being a punching bag.
Yep, this shouldn't knock over, but we are making sure that Rydia is knocked over. And
yeah, Rhybon still.
Look at that bonk.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that's a pretty good bonk.
And Korgs doesn't have any MP, and I think it's probably
did not switch rows for some reason.
Well, I think at this point in time, you presume that between Quake and Sid, like you can get through whatever it is without needing to menu over. Like that's been something I've been trying to cut out of my races too.
Yeah, he row switched with Rosa. That's what happened.
Yeah, the problem is like this is just a tough fight to be in. So you wait for the explode, and then you sweep.
Yep, just Quake, Ice 2, whatever.
And at this point, Korgs is walking out his progress so far on Mount Ordeals. This is he's getting the MP the MP chocobo.
Yeah.
This is where I think Korgs may have hyped himself up a little bit, because it's really, really easy to feel like you have to rush yourself, when you're at this level of play. When you're in a 3-0 match against someone like Rhybon, you feel like you have to shortcut things. And the problem is that it's real easy to make mistakes at that point in time.
Yeah, I totally agree with you on that.
And there's the pan on top of Mount Ordeal. So this is something we certainly would want to do. Still not a key item, but it does unlock 2 additional key items that we got.
Yeah. Jeez. Hand bonk and Sheila too.
I think at this point, Rhybon is kind of hunting around, saying, "Hey, I will take at any point in time, the Darkness Crystal because he is ready to go. He's got Hallam who can cast Virus. He's got Sid with an Ogre Axe and Earth Hammer if he wants to switch over. Uh, he's perfectly capable of doing his grind right now if he so gets the Darkness Crystal, and that would just enable everything after this relatively horrendous opening round.
I'm assuming Rhybon's next choice will be probably right back underground and do the bonk.
Meanwhile, Greybone, it goes down with an HP ran out right after he knocks over Rosa, so Rosa doesn't get any experience. GG's Korgs is going to get through and he's going to get some direction. The problem is he's been dodging doing Fabul anyway, and getting that pan isn't going to help us.
Yeah.
All right, so Korgs is going to get a little bit of direction on his side. Meanwhile, Rhybon about to do the pan bonk. Like I said, I'm pretty sure he's hoping for a Darkness Crystal relatively quickly. But we'll take any sort of direction that he wants. I think he's trying to avoid doing Dwarf Castle. Hey, Baron Key.
That's double objective.
It's double objective, but I don't think
He could do one right now.
He could do one and at least check on the other, because if it's like King Queen Evelyn, it's a freebie.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And I think that's what he's actually going to do.
Well, he's getting everyone cured up and prepared to do kind of the next thing. Not curing up his Rydia, knowing full well
she's going down because that's swing.
She's going to be knocked over pretty quickly.
But yeah, I understand this check. I mean, just the one check's easy save, then go in, check what's in the basement, and if it's nothing you can do, just reset out.
Yeah. I do also like, and this is something that I think you have to have some situational awareness for, turning in the pan to Sheila is not a required objective. It is just a freebie that is sitting there, but this is taking the axiom, do your objectives to the nth degree. Mm-hmm. This is, I have an objective I can do. I don't care if I'm in the middle of a chain of getting a couple freebies. I'm going to stop and do my objective right now.
And we knew it was Evil Wall, so... I mean, it's Evil
Wall. Alish has a comment in chat that says, this is why you couldn't race this. You can never turn down the opportunity to use Rydia. Oh, we're going to use Rydia. We're absolutely going to use Rydia. It's just utilizing her towards the end of the game rather than right now. Oh, and thank you, John Burkhead.
Yep.
For the raid. We appreciate you.
Oh, yes. Rydia will be used. And Rhybon gets right through. No problem.
Oh, Pogo punching. He punches hard at that spot. I think Rhybon had a little bit more equipment because he had already been underground at that point.
Oh, he only get quarter leg this time. If it even comes to the quarter leg.
Look at this. Look at this. The kamikaze to deal 800 damage. Oh, that's chef's kiss. Mwah. Because, and here's the thing. Well, I don't know. Would elements crumble there because it's a multi fight? Like, I know that doing the kamikaze helps prevent the crumble animation from happening, but I don't know if the crumble animation would have happened anyway because it was a multi-part fight. Help me out here. Elements would crumble? Okay, so doing the kamikaze actually sped up the cutscene of the end to prevent the crumble. We got Earth Crystal, which again, not an objective, but oh, that treasury is looking good. And by the way, we got Yang. And hey, if this is Darkness Crystal, this is the perfect slingshot opportunity at this point. Meanwhile, Korgs does complete Fabul Defense and is going to be rewarded with that magma key and realizes, oh, this was the key the whole time. Oh my gosh. That was the Darkness Crystal. I promise you, we're doing that right now. The interesting thing, and I'll be curious to see. Rhybon is going to be getting this darkness set up. He's going to be getting ready for or setting up the Mac Giant grind, which is very, very powerful in this particular tournament. I will be interested to see if he goes up to the moon to check the character there. We have, like I said, we have a Sid Napalm who could perfectly well get us through. However, we have a Yang at level 10 and we have a low level Rydia, two of which would be Slingshot. It's just a matter of time if he wants to see if he can get a better character to Slingshot as well. Or, for example, if there's an Edge up there, replace the Sid with an Edge, because Edge is just a superior character for this particular party. All right. Meanwhile, Korgs is now underground and says, hey, by the way, I have that pan. Let's just knock it all out. He will immediately also get this darkness crystal and go, oh boy. And duplicate Rosa up on the moon.
I mean, who doesn't like twins?
I mean, if dupes were enabled, that's something that we've not seen in a tournament for a while, is duplicates. It's usually duplicates disabled. I would like to see duplicates enabled at some point. Just me spitballing here, talking to the community.
I mean, why not?
Meanwhile, Korgs gets his Baron key and says, oh, okay. Our wonderful tracker Xenocat saying, because multiple Cecil's OP. I would argue Cecil is not OP in this flag set. I would gladly say that I think we finally got the balancing right in this particular flag set where Cecil is not a snap take.
I mean, don't get me wrong, maybe still restrict, like, certain characters, like Tasty says, foo, 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 and friends.
Foo 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 and Friends. Firth is saying we want a quorum of porums. I love all of these.
I do like it, yeah.
Meanwhile, looks like we are only slingshotting our Rydia right now. We want levels on Yang to be able to help us through this grind, which I can appreciate.
Does he have a Thunderclaw? I did not notice.
I do not know either.
I mean, a Thunder or a Charm Claw. Either one's fine. Because I know he's about ready to set up for Mac Giant.
Yeah, so we're setting things up for the Mac Giant. We got some levels on Yang to be able to help us out right now. We have a fire. Oh, we have double cat claws. Ooh, can we shop around for a claw? Pretty please?
Yeah, because unfortunately, cat claws don't help against Mac G's.
There's rune rings available at the Baron shop, by the way. And given that we have a whole lot of casters, oh, there's a Charm Claw in Baron as well. Apex. Thank you for pointing that out. I did not see that. I was trying to look and then I missed it.
Yeah, I was about to say, I mean,
for those of you wondering what Rhybon is doing, he is counting his steps outside Baron. There is a community resource that runners are allowed to use that after you reset the game, it kind of loads up different seeds, effectively trying to set up to make sure we're guaranteed the right fight when we go to the Giant of Babel. But having some difficulty, 1, 2, 3, I think that's one. He had 3 steps. I think he's got to reset out of I think it's 1 or 2.
I think I don't really remember.
Oh, if it was the 3rd step, it's only reset out of 1 fight, and then you're good.
Yeah, I don't remember the exact step policy for that.
I mean, Scarsword makes a good point. I don't know if how possible it would be to ban extra resources like a step chart that anyone could have. The step charts didn't used to exist. We tried to make you added a flag at one point in time to say, no, you're not allowed to run from random encounters, and then people got smarter. That's the problem with this community. Everyone just smarts the flag set that we try to build for them to make it more challenging.
Yep.
Yeah, simple E, no XP. That's a potential flag to turn on for this. Yeah.
Yeah, no EXP. Yep. I've actually thought about a few of my matches actually asking opponents if they want to put that flag on.
Okay, so
most times.
So there is a Thunderclaw that Rhybon has. He just equipped the double cat claws to start the fight. So
okay.
Yeah.
Karate kick the eye.
Now here's an interesting thing: using a silk web, because even though we kill the Mac Giant eventually, he will respawn with the same stats as when we killed him over and over and over. So that spot will be permanently slowed down for the rest of
So
this.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Okay, I did not know that, but now I do.
It's all about learning. Try to learn something new every day.
I mean, I've learned a lot. I mean, I was a puff.
Meanwhile, Korgs says, "You know what's tempting? That Earth crystal." And I do believe. Oh wait, no. We'll set that up later. But I really want to know what this Raid the Treasury is, because Korgs has been dying for a little bit of power for most of this seed.
Yep.
Ooh, a Zeus, Sorcerer, Lunar, Rhybon. Two Rhybons.
I feel like someone got spoiled with bows.
Two Artemis bows, two Sork robes, a Zeus gauntlet. Yeah, for this particular party, that's pretty darn good.
I mean, rating wise, I'd give it probably like an 8 out of 10, just for the party that he has right now.
The problem, I mean, if we would have gotten some better weapons, like Stardust Rod, I mean, I don't think we could get an Avenger out of there, but I think we might be able to, actually.
Oh, you can get an Avenger out of there. Yes, I have done it in a race.
Yeah, so I think that's what's keeping it from being truly amazing. I think what's more amazing is the quantity of serviceable gear. You know, the Sork robes, the Artie bows, the Zeus gauntlets. I think there was a rune ring in there as well.
Yeah. Yeah, and like Scarsher said, you can get an Avenger. It's max tier 7, which I thought was right, because I think my last race I actually did get an Avenger out of the armory. So Rosa's going full on archer.
That's interesting. Meanwhile, Rhybon does continue his grind.
Poor Rydia laying on the ground. Hey, it's Vanilla.
Vanilla Magus Sisters. All right, this is...
Gotta love it.
I mean, it's fine. We're going to have Yang punching really hard, and I believe Palom should know Quake by now.
And Rosa's...
No! Oh, wow.
Ooh. That's kind of rough.
See, for this, then I'd throw the Elven Bow on Rosa instead of the Artie Bow.
Yep.
Yeah, that level 10 Yang isn't punching for very much at all.
No.
See, I tend to agree with the play that Rhybon is doing right now in this case, which when you have the grind available, the earlier you can possibly do the grind, the more you can leverage it throughout and really get an advantage through the rest of the race, especially with how little power we've had access to.
Yeah, I totally agree with you on that. I'm like,
Has anyone spotted mute arrows? I don't think so, Pepita. Not that I've seen.
I didn't see him. I saw charm arrows, but that's about it. I'm assuming Corey's rearranged his gear on Rosa.
We shall see. He did just Zerker up again, so
Yeah, I'm assuming probably put the Ellen bow on her. Yeah, with numbers like that, yeah, he definitely changed her gear around a little bit.
yeah, it's not doing great damage though. Is the problem.
That's the problem. I mean, she's also still low level.
All right, so let's review. We have both runners have completed Baron Castle at this point in time. We have access to Baron Basement Throne. That's 2. We also have access to the Murasame Altar and the Vanilla Ribbon Room. So that's 4 objectives that we have complete access. Well, and Queen. So we have 5. Although that Queen was a Lunar Sparkle, so we have access to complete 5 of the 6 objectives.
Yep.
What do you do if you are Rhybon in this spot? Korgs getting through that very tough fight. Good job, Korgs.
What I do here?
Yeah, what's the first thing you do after you finish your grind? Knowing that there's 5 objectives ready to go.
Let's see, Baron, especially after this grind, probably Baron. Queen spot, depending on what the Queen's. Oh, never mind. I got distracted by the man.
Cecil the Man is here. That'll be nice for Korgs. We don't really have any weaponry for him other than axes, but that's enough. Between that and Zeus Gauntlet, he can cover strats, and really Korg's grind is enabled as well.
Yeah. I was like, oh. And not count Cecil's slingable, so you know he gonna sling he gonna sling a Cecil on Iridia.
I don't think he's going to sling Cecil. I think he's going to try to keep him up. However, there's Rhybon completing his grind though. Let's see. That was. Oh, Iridia didn't quite get to nuke.
Nope.
That was Palom. That was Palom who didn't quite get to nuke. I'm sorry.
Oh,
yeah, okay. Iridia just got to nuke.
Yeah. I didn't even see how many Rhybon actually did. Exact numbers. What was it? 8x8, I think, maybe. 8 with the. Isn't that what they call it? 8x8.
Something along those lines. But I mean it's.
It's enough.
At this point, we have a couple of nuke casters. We have Rosa, who has white, if we want to cast on that. This is going to be going very, very quickly.
Everything.
Yeah.
He did.
Oh, he did like 12 by. Okay.
Oh, okay.
But as you were saying, I tend to agree with you on your order of operations, though. Let's knock out Baron Basement. Let's knock out the Queen, because if you get anything else, if you get the second half Forge, if you get the Twin Harp, or you get the Sand Ruby, if you have any of those 3 that just happens to be in one of those 2 spots, you can complete your objectives on the blue planet,
Mhm.
go up to the moon, and then you're done.
Yep, pretty much. Do your objectives on the surface before going to the moon, if absolutely able to. That's how I see.
Yep. Looks like we're taking a slightly different order of operations. I can understand it.
And
Said,
he's
let's
gonna
go
go
ahead
do the
and
queen.
do the queen first. It's a little bit of a wild card. It's a sparkle,
Yeah.
but
What's
also we have a second objective there.
what sparkle have we seen? The only sparkle
We've
we've seen
seen-
is Peldim.
No, we've seen Ogopogo as well.
Oh, and Ogopogo. So we could still see Plague, which is kind of gross based on anchoring situations. I mean, it is Palom.
Plague, well, yeah, Plague would be interesting because we could nuke it really, really hard.
Yeah, actually, yeah, the HP there is not bad at the queen spot. It's the king spot that has higher HP, isn't it?
Yeah. Meanwhile, Korgs finishes the Earth Crystal. There's second half of Forge.
Oh, it's at Earth Crystal? Ooh.
Second half of Forge is at Earth Crystal. And
Ah.
honestly, I get the sense that that's one Rhybon might skip, honestly.
Yeah, I actually do agree with you. That might be something he'll skip.
Plague.
It is Plague. It's the, you know. And Korg's just setting up for his grind now.
Those kamikazes.
Base level Cecil. So slinging Cecil as well, it looks like.
That's okay. I mean, that's going to be pretty amazing. So Korgs is going to get it. Yeah, Korgs is going to get a double sling out of it. It might be a little bit slower of a grind. But yeah, you're right.
He's going underground to Forge.
You know what? I dig
because
it.
it's a requirement.
Yeah, I mean, it's a requirement, and you haven't found a Stardust run yet. Hey, does this change the calculus at all?
Yeah.
Getting a pass
From the Queen?
from the Queen, you're like, oh, well, I don't know, with Ribbon Room as an objective, and it's right there, like, it's really so much easier to walk down, especially since we don't have an exit caster right now on Rhybon's side.
Oh, that's a nicely stocked Coco Ford shop. I saw power shirts.
Oh, that'll be nice for... Oh, power shirts? Yep.
Yeah. I mean...
So nukes and quakes being cast on the antline. Palom's still not quite at nuke yet.
So... It looks like Korgs is actually just gonna sling those two off of the two eggs, or at least Cecil.
Yep. Well, yeah, he'll get a slingshot off of the eggs, so that'll be fine.
But keeping the Ridia now, because he's already
wanting to enable. Yeah, I get that, wanting to enable the grind.
Yeah.
25 levels for that Cecil though, so yeah, he's gonna have a pretty decent grind. Yang and Cecil versus Yang and Sid on Rhybon's side.
yet still, Cecil has no like actual what I'd call good weapons for him.
Right. Well, I mean, we're doing a grind right now, so that's fine. Um, a ribbon from the other boss in the Fame Arch. So now I think Rhybon, yep, is going to be doing Baron Basement. I think the key for Korgs to catch up here, because doing that Earth Crystal and doing the getting the Legend Sword could be kind of the gatekeeping item at this point in time. Korgs has go mode. He has access to the two altars, the basement, and then the queen. So Korgs is in go mode right now. He's like, do my grind, do my objectives done. Rhybon is still going to have to hunt. Now he still is going to be completing his objectives, but if he doesn't happen to run into either the Twin Harp or the Sand Ruby kind of in the course of what he's already doing, he could be sent down a rabbit hole here.
Oh, yeah.
And there's a lot of rabbit holes to go. I mean, that Twin Harp can hide the Sand Ruby, which could be hidden behind the Luca key, which could be hidden behind the Tower key, which could be hidden behind something else. So there's a big chain of events that could possibly prevent Rhybon from going, depending on what the order of operations go, versus what Korgs is able to do.
Yeah. And it looks like Baron Basement was a turtle down there. You know what I mean? Taking a break from the throne, you know. Upstairs, went downstairs to chill.
Well, the basement is cooler in the summer. You can't blame him.
Exactly, it's a turtle.
Luca key.
Ooh.
The more things that are unlocked for Rhybon.
That's rabbit hole territory right there. I would seriously check the Earth Crystal before that Luca.
I mean, it depends because
I know
Earth Crystal is 2 bosses plus a cutscene, plus a couple cutscenes, honestly, because you have the cutscene where the boulder / guillotine drops, and then you have the cutscene to exit out. If you go to the moon, you are committing to full clearing the moon, because again, Rhybon does not have an exit. If the moon is full of zonks, if we have no answer up here, this could be the major differentiation play here between him and Korgs, and it'll allow Korgs to get right back in this race almost to an advantage.
Yeah. And
yeah, knowing what Rhybon knows, this is absolutely 100% the correct play to make. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. From the bird's eye view, though, this is what makes the randomizers so engaging to run.
Oh yeah,
is you don't know, and this is what makes a fantastic race, because, Korgs certainly was sweating himself earlier with how rough this early game was. He's in his groove now and in go mode, so as soon as he completes his grind, he knows exactly what he has to do, and then he'll go.
Exactly. And Rhybon, he's just basically one item away from basically go mode.
Yeah, it is literally all a matter of what he ends up finding here on the moon.
Find the harp, find the ruby. Pretty much either one of those, he's pretty much go.
Well, and the worst part of it is, regardless of if he does find something on the moon, let's say he does the Murasame altar, nothing is here. He goes all the way down to the ribbon room. Let's say he does find like the sand ruby down there. Okay, great. He still has to walk it out because he doesn't have exit. Yeah, and Korgs, well,
That's true
Korgs will get the
because he
pass.
does.
Yeah,
That's true because he does not have a Cecil, unlike
he
Korgs
doesn't have
does.
a Cecil, and his Rosa didn't do.
Yep, I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Uh, Meanwhile, this is a rude Val here.
I mean, Val's always rude. She's a very mean lady.
Well, Val's particularly mean to mage groups, just because.
Well, I mean, depending on the spot, she's just really mean to almost everyone.
Meanwhile, while we have the grind going here, I do want to give a shout out to the members of the Restream team helping us put this show on. Alisale for the Restream, Xenocat doing the tracking, and eNinja81, my co-commentator. If you're interested in helping out the Restream team, we are accepting applications for volunteers to help us comms booth tracking, restreaming, whatever you want to do. Go ahead, head over to our Discord and go into the guides and resources. I do believe the application is there. We'd love to have some more volunteers to help us put on these wonderful races. Plus, you get to join our Discord anyway, which is a super cool, fun place to hang out.
Looks like Rhybon's having a little bit of an issue here with Valvalis.
Yeah, it's not free. He's doing decent damage on his. I mean, he's just kind of letting Yang punch at this point in time, and Rosa is going to be keeping people up with healing. But this is why a lot of people have been getting stacks of heal pots as well, because you want to make sure everyone stays alive.
Oh, Palm! I thought Palm was petrified for a minute. Oh,
Was close. Crystal ring.
We got a crystal ring.
I think the hope that we had for Rhybon for a second was that specifically would be like a sand ruby, so he could exit out, go turn that in, and then walk down, so he wouldn't have to do a double, you know, walk of shame there.
Oh, he probably will. I bet. Ribbon room.
Pepita, absolutely. I tell you what, Pepita, go ahead and message me on Discord after the race. I will send you the application if you want to help. You do not have to be a runner. Absolutely not. We accept all sorts of help from within the community. In fact, it helps a lot because, you know, for example, both Ninja and I are runners in this particular tournament. So, like, I'm practicing so that I can do good at racing. So it takes a lot of folks to be able to put on these sorts of races, a lot of volunteers to help organize things. It takes a group of commentators and trackers and restreamers. So every little bit helps. And folks who aren't racing, perfect. Your attention isn't split. Korgs done with his grind though.
I actually did see how much he grinded there. He's got enough. And
this
underground. This is Rhybon, huh?
This is Rhybon. This CPU has 35,000 HP.
I see this being slightly easier for Korgs to do. his party, but maybe not. I don't know. When he gets down there.
All right, so zerking up and medio casting. We're doing what we can to knock as much health.
Ooh. That's. Are we playing Cunis? Yeah, we are playing Cunis.
Newt got us 2/3 of the way there.
No.
Oh no!
You ain't white or nuking anything off that Sid. No.
That was the gamble.
Yes, it was, and the gamble didn't pay off.
But we got 2 in. Now just a medio will clear us out.
Yeah.
This realistically was going to be the fastest way to do this.
Oh, yeah. I don't even want to think about that king spot. I know Rhybon did it, but yeah. Never liked Antlion there.
I mean, Antlion can be rough.
King Antlion, punches relatively hard.
Meanwhile, we have a white reflect and a medio cast coming in.
Oh, poor Young's not going to get health or get HP.
He's got 4,500 health. He is fine.
Hey. There's always room for more.
Realistically, that was probably the fastest we could get. At Sand Ruby, though.
No,
so...
it's kind of go mode. No, literally go mode.
Yep, it is go mode. So... Meanwhile, Korgs did have to reset out.
Oof. And he's got the pass.
And he's got the pass. So...
Yeah,
so this is go mode for Rhybon. This is going to happen very, very quickly here.
Yeah.
He is warping out. He is not he's not doing the walk of shame.
No, he's not doing walk of shame. I wouldn't either with black mages. That's just warp of shame. It's not quite as bad.
But both runners are just
good to me.
Yeah, this is just showing how superior both of these runners are. Like with the start that we had, I would say even good runners within our community, this would be close to a 2-hour seed to get things going. And these guys are going to be finishing, Rhybon, I mean, this is going to get close to the 120 mark. This is going to be very, very fast.
Boy, if I actually had to call it right now, I would say 123. Yes, I give like a limit mark.
Well, he's going to be setting up to do reflect strats on Zemus. Because I mean, Young and Sid are not going to punch. They're going to be chemists for this.
No, they're full on chemists.
In fact, I'm going to call it right now because we already saw one kamikaze swag kill on the Baron throne. We're going to get another kamikaze crumble on Zemus.
Oh.
Calling it now.
I'd be up for that. I've seen it once. Rhybon is quickly looking. I'm assuming for like Oh, of course, doing the Sand Ruby and oh god, yeah, yeah, we're not taking that guy. He can stay in his damn bed. Uh, Edward. Where was Kane at? Probably on
I
a giant.
mean, we have
Probably.
giant. We didn't touch Dwarf Castle.
Oh, giant or dwarf castle, probably.
We also had package, yeah,
Yeah.
and hook
Package.
route. we we left a lot of this seed
Wait,
uncovered.
oh wait. That's right. The seat was just like free and open.
Yeah, this was one of those seeds where you didn't have a lot of power, but as soon as you got things rolling, it precipitated pretty quickly.
Yeah, just radio at 2200 health. I'm like, ugh. I'm like, wow.
Yeah, that's a healthy Rydia right there. She's very small, very angry. Meanwhile, we do see the Z flag. Just as an Easter egg, we randomize just about everything we can here in the Free Enterprise community. One thing we can't do is put Zemus into the general boss pool because his script is just a little too complicated. So, what do we do in the meantime? Well, there are more than 700 different sprites. Once you use the crystal on Zeromus and he shows his true colors that he can transform into. So that Z flag is representation of everything that we ask in the community. Whose butt are we going to kick tonight? It's only like 600-ish. Come on, I've been saying almost 700 for a while now.
I
I
mean,
feel bad.
also, can its butt do my taxes?
It is not tax season, sir. So if you're just a regular W-2 employee, then you don't have to do your taxes right now.
I don't have them done already, I would say.
That's a whole other issue that's going to be between you and the IRS, sir.
No, file extensions. I mean, that stuff happens. Just kidding.
As Zero must know why kids love the taste of Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Sponsorship offer. General Mills, call us. I can't say we'll return the call, but
Uh,
Creatomus?
yeah, I have no idea what that is.
Any help in chat? We would appreciate it. I have no idea what that is.
Yeah, I'm completely confused by this too. Saga 1 or 2 boss, Reckon thinks it is.
Okay. Meanwhile, we got nukes and whites rolling out. And we got our two chemists going. So Rose is just going to be casting white the whole time, I got to imagine. We're not even going to stop for a big bang. We're going full reflex here.
Yeah, Rhybon's just gonna go full hand.
Meanwhile, Korgs is on his way to the moon. With 4 objectives done, we'll do Murasame Altar, that Volvalis fight, and then the CPU fight. Neither of which are particularly friendly. Like, this was a great example of some bosses being in some really rough spots, but these runners have put on a clinic on how to handle them, really.
Yeah. And like
Right.
a
So
like I say in Apex, like Apex said in chat, Rhybon's Fortnite has been impressive. I'm like, I agree. There is a reason why he is a champion from one of the former seasons.
yeah, he's been a longtime member of the community. Took a little bit of a break, had to de-rust for a little bit,
Yeah.
but is every bit the solid competitor. And there's the crash, boom, bang. GG's to Rhybon,
GG, Rhybon.
119.11.
Well, he beat my time by 3 minutes.
And we are joined in the booth by Rhybon. GG's.
GG, man.
Hey, Vitasia. Hey, Dinja. Thanks. Very interesting seed tonight. Very low power to begin with, huh?
Yeah, we noticed you spent a little bit of extra time doing some looting, and then you found those dancing daggers in there in Mysidia. What triggers that in your mind when you're trying to figure out the routing of that early game? When does that kind of tip you off that, hey, I need to do some extra stuff here?
When I have team 130 HP and Rydia is ultimately not very useful without a dancing dagger in hand, I really felt like I needed something before I went up Hobbs. I could have been bailed out by a Sid up there. I'm not sure if Edge could be up there. I don't think he can, but a Sid, maybe a Kane would have bailed me up. But that Rosa with no bow found or no decent arrows outside of charm arrows found would not have been enough to get me through that pale dim. So I'm glad that I kept on looking around. The early looting over in Watery Pass and in Damsian Basement came up with a lot of Ogre Axes and a bunch of other very nice gear that my party couldn't use. I was really looking for those dancing daggers, just one of them, and I would have been happy enough to, get the seed started. When that didn't pop out, I'm like, well, Sun Cost Fallacy says I shouldn't go to Eblin. I don't want to go to Eblin. Dancing daggers are probably for sale somewhere, and with 2 black mages on my team, I'm probably going to Mac Giant at some point. So in reality, I'm not really losing that much time by shopping early because I'm looking for a lot of stuff. I'm looking for life potions, Cure 2, Silk Web, Star Veils, Hermes, which I never found, unfortunately. So it didn't feel like too much of a waste of time. And when those dancing daggers popped up in Mid-City, I'm like, all right, let's go. I'll buy 3. I only need 2, but, maybe Kane shows up and he can use 1.
Yeah, I think the early game was really kind of decisive. Korgs, I think, unfortunately bounced off Hobbs after doing a little bit less preparing. Also bounced off at least one other boss. I think bounced off Fabul defense as well. And Ordeals as well. So really struggled early game if you tried to do the boss rush without doing any sort of preparation. So that made a big difference. When it came time to do the rest of the setup, I mean, everything that you did kind of made logical sense. What's your feeling on that early grind though? Because it seems to happen a lot in these seeds.
Are we talking the early Mac Giant grind or that first time I went down there to pop an egg?
Early Mac Giant grind. The egg was I thought was just a brilliant move because you had to get folks online somehow.
Yep, get folks online, but not Rydia, because even with an egg, she's still mostly useless. But yeah, the moment that darkness showed up, and Rydia was hugging the ground for a long time because I was waiting for that darkness to show up. But the Mac Giant grind was, the longer you take to do your Mac Giant grind, the more you're leaving on the table. It's like, it's like an investment in your future. I'm like, not to bring up personal finance or anything, but we've all probably been at work. We've been talked about 401k, the Roth IRAs, and Mac Giants are kind of the same way. The earlier you do it, the more you'll reap later in the game, and the more time you'll have left in the game to actually reap the benefits of that grind. So the moment you get it, don't wait for 10 key items, just go.
Makes a lot of sense, actually.
Nope, 100%. And, we were kind of at the edge of our seats because Korgs, kind of separately, he ended up turning in the Earth Crystal, which I know you had eschewed. You didn't even open the treasury, which, by the way, it was a fantastic treasury. It was just loaded.
Yes.
But because he did the Tower of Zot, that did lead to the Legend Sword. So there was kind of this will it won't happen where if you go to the moon and it ends up being a Zonk, even though it's doing the objectives, you'd have to you'd have to kind of warp out. There didn't have exit casting available. Were you prepared for that, or what was kind of the game plan if the moon didn't quite work out?
I kind of fought against every instinct in my body because I want to stay on the Earth. I want to complete my K main checks, and it definitely, even though I didn't, inch toward Troya or anything, it definitely passed my mind. I don't have exit. I kind of figured that out when I was leaving Feymarch. I'm like, oh, I got to walk out of here. This sucks. But I'm like, I don't have exit. What if I just do Zot for exit? That might save. That probably wouldn't save any time. Zot is longer than warping out of the lunar subterrane, but it would buy me some time. If it takes me like a minute and a half to warp out of the lunar subterrane and it takes me 3 minutes for Zot, then in reality, Zot, if it has go mode, fantastic, great. If it doesn't have go mode, it only costs me a minute and a half in reality, not 3 minutes, because I would have to warp out of the lunar subterrane anyway. But I still decided to go down the LST because, hey, I have 5 objectives available to me. I've found a lot of Zonks over on the blue planet. So potentially there's value up on the moon, and fortunately with that sand ruby in Rhybon room, there was enough to get me out of there. And the path also kind of pushed me in that direction as well.
That's fantastic. While Korgs is doing the fight right now, that CPU fight, it felt like all of the bosses were just like custom designed to not be standard for your party setup. That first of all, that was just an impressive, getting reflect strats and meteos, trying to get everything set up. You still took one globe or a couple globe 9/9s, but otherwise, that was about the fastest CPU fight I think I've seen at that spot for a while. Walk us through kind of that tech.
I've seen Possum, I've seen Martin, I've seen players far better than me just throw caution to the wind. Just if you have nuke, there's only like 35k HP on that big CPU there. If you can get like 3 or 4 nukes off and a meteo, you probably kill him. So just go for it. If he happens to kill 2 people, kill the healer orb, get someone else back up, and go again. 2 meteos, 2 nukes, a white. I think the CPU didn't last very long. It could have gone, sideways very quickly if he killed my Starveil user or if he killed other people, but he just killed Yang, which was very helpful. I know he was berserked and doing a little bit of damage, but he wasn't doing nuke damage. And throw caution to the wind and just get this fight over with, because otherwise you could spend easily 3-4 minutes on that fight, 5 minutes sometimes if you try to do it safely. And sometimes you have to do that if you don't have the party set up, but we got nuke white. Let's go.
Well, you're not wrong on that.
I'm wrong on a lot of things, but fortunately I was right on that tonight.
Correct.
Well, you move on to 4-0 in groups. You fought 3 absolutely fantastic competitors in this, and then some scrub that you beat last week.
Yeah.
But going into the final week 5 at 4-0, what's going through your mind right now?
Didn't really expect to be here. After OMG, I bowed out early in the qualifying rounds, and for the most part moved on to FS6 Worlds Collide. I was burned out a little bit on Free Enterprise and didn't play any Seeds leading up to this tournament. I think I played 2 practice Seeds before the tournament actually kicked off. And yeah, when I saw the group, when I saw you, I saw Korg and Scratch, I'm like, and Matic, who I've heard a lot about, but I haven't actually seen him run yet, and many other players in the D Machine pod that we're all in. I'm like, well, I might get 3-2. If I'm lucky, I'll get 4-1, but I don't think I'm going to 5-0 this group. I'm really out of shape. I'm really out of practice, but I guess Free Enterprise is kind of like riding a bike, or more like Free Enterprise is kind of like swimming. You don't forget how to do it unless you do, and then you die or lose a lot. One of the two.
You're out of practice. Come on, man.
Yeah, it feels like you just jumped right into the deep end then and started immediately lapping everyone right again. So GG's to you once again. Moving on to 4-0, dominating our group. I know that I learned a lot. I learned a lot every time I watch you race. So You put on an absolute clinic tonight. Just GG's one more time.
Thanks, Vitasia. Thanks, Ninja.
Yeah.
Thank you all for putting on the race tonight, by the way. Ali, Ninja, Vitasia, Xenocat. Appreciate all of the free enterprise restreams we get. We don't, I mean, they're all fun to watch. They're fantastic, but we couldn't do it without you guys. GG's to Korg as well. I was very, very worried entering this particular week because we were talking earlier in the week and he's like, I ran your race that you played last week and we were within 30 seconds of each other. And I remember how fantastic Korgs performed back during Edlin Elixir League as well. So Korgs is no slouch, just by the sound of it got tripped up on a couple of early bosses. But yeah, looking forward to next week, and I will let you guys get back to talking about Korg as he finishes out the seed, and see you next time.
You have a good night.
Yep. GG's. Have a good night, Rhybon. All right, so that was Rhybon. We are watching Korgs as he finishes up. Keep in mind, it looks like Rhybon finished about 10 minutes ago, but this race has been much closer than the final time is going to let on. There could have been a coin flip if the items fell in a little bit different direction. Things would be very, very different in terms of the times right now. So do not let the time differential give you an indication of the difference here. This was a very tight race for the most part.
Yeah. It's basically, well, like I said, basically how one person moves and how another person just when it goes to like checks and stuff. I mean,
meanwhile, it looks like Korgs did reset out of his CPU fight and is opting for something a little more standard.
I haven't used float in a long time.
Float strats are really interesting. You try to reflect float and roll the dice really, because you want float then to reflect onto one of the bits so that you can then quake until your heart's content.
Yeah.
Because despite the fact that they look like they're floating, they're not actually floating. They're susceptible to quake.
Yeah. It's like Alice says, I haven't seen flown strats in a hot minute. And I'm like, yeah, I haven't either. Oh, guess what? I've never actually pulled off float strats either.
They're tough to pull off because you have not only do you have to know what you're doing, but you have to set up for it, and you have to get into a good rhythm, and they're tough to practice.
I know, but yeah, it's just something I haven't seen a whole. I've seen him in tournament play, just not recently. And also, like Xenocat said, you need to look with them too. Although, if I remember, float status actually doesn't actually wear off over time, does it?
Do not believe it does.
That's what.
Yeah, the wrong bit got floated, so
yeah, that's what I thought. Nope.
worth talking about some of the other matches that are going on. that are available again over on our Discord. We do link every live match. As Korgs does get through this will be his go mode here. In addition to this match, which is finishing up, Bad Karma and Noob Tree is going on right now. The Khadgar for that is available over on our Discord. Please feel free to head over there and check it out. Blues Eclipse and Kedril also started at 9 o'clock Eastern, so about 45 minutes ago. So that race is also going on. And stick around because if from here, we're probably going to send everyone over once this race is done over to Tall Grant versus John Burkhead, which will be going on Free Enterprise 2, and that race starts here in 15 minutes. So presuming everything else goes, we can speak with Korgs and get things wrapped up. Well, I imagine we'll be sending you over to that race once he's done with the Z fight.
I mean, that's going to be a really good matchup.
Yeah, let me double check.
And looks like Korg's gonna do a few little extra grinds. Not feeling comfortable.
Yeah, I think.
I mean, with those levels,
Rydia's got Nuke, but I think he's worried about
Yeah.
Palom, and I don't know if Palom has
yeah,
Nuke.
I know.
Yeah, that's the problem. When you're trying to get everything done, you're like, you hope that he
Yeah.
learns Nuke. But with that, Rose against 2 levels. Yeah, there's Palom's Nuke.
There's Palom's Nuke. Okay. So go in, save real quick, and then straight to the Romus. Or oh wait, pass. Never mind. Is this the one thing I never really found out? Is it actually quicker to warp out of the LST and go to the pass room?
I think it's close when you're already at the ribbon room. I think it's close. I know for a fact if you're at any place else, it's just faster to warp out. Like even if you're at the Masamune altar and you want to go back and safety save, it's easier to just get to the door, exit out, and then go back instead of the walk. So it's very, very close.
Yeah. I was just wondering because I've actually timed it a few times and they are like really relatively close.
Meanwhile, Korgs, does exit out, does come to the pass. So, has Nuke on Palom, didn't quite do as large of a grind, so I would say not quite as comfortable as Rhybon was, maybe, but still should be fairly straightforward for this V fight.
I think he actually turned his battle speed down slightly if I saw that.
Yeah.
He turned it down to 3. Which, mind you, I actually do turn mine down to 3 sometimes, depending on the situation.
And just, first of all, I want to give my kudos to Korgs as he's starting his Zemus fight here. The way that early game started, as Rhybon put it, team 130 HP.
Yeah.
Taking the wipes that he did, that will put any seasoned runner on tilt from the word go. And to be able to overcome that and get back into the rhythm of the race really speaks to Korg's ability to compartmentalize and really, shove it to the back of your mind. In professional sports, if you ever watch Ted Lasso, he would have an anecdote: be a goldfish. You got to forget about the crap that just happened, shove it to the back of your mind, and just play the race that's in front of you. And that's what Korgs was able to demonstrate with kind of that rough early start. But then is getting through with his what's going to be a pretty respectable time on what was otherwise a crap seed.
Oh, like I said, if I'd come across this seed myself, I would have struggled quite a bit, honestly. I mean, yes, I've been around for a while, but still, it'd been a little bit of a struggle.
100%. I would have struggled too. So that's why I'm glad I'm on this side of it.
Aren't we glad we are on both sides of this?
Oh yeah, this is what I really enjoyed. Allie, no, please don't. Mercy.
I want Allie to roll mine with Plumeria.
See, the problem is, Allie, I'm racing Poidric this week, so I just know things are gonna be chaotic regardless because I'm racing Poidric.
Oh, Allie's not gonna roll my seed. See, I'm feeling sad now.
You just gotta roll with it. Meanwhile, Korgs is set up. He did get a sneak a punch in. You don't have to be completely physical agnostic until a little bit further in. By now, with the damage that we've done, we can't do any more. Trisalt unbeatable seeds? No, I don't know. I mean, there have been theoretical unbeatable seeds that have been rolled or that could theoretically be rolled, but they're literally like 1 in a billion chance based on how things play out. So I think we as a community have just decided, hey, we'll deal with it when it happens, but it hasn't happened yet. So meanwhile, Korgs does get through.
Indeed.
See if Korgs is ready for a quick chat. And we're now joined by Korgs. GG's on what couldn't have been an easy seed. That was quite the start for you.
GG.
I hated it so much. The flames on the side of my face, breathing, breathless, heaving breaths, heaving. My apologies to Madeline Kahn.
How you feel?
Yeah, I don't think I've ever played worse on stream, so maybe I got every single mistake I could ever make out of the way, and that's the positive spin I'll put on it, maybe.
I mean, I could feel the tilt there a little bit, especially after the first couple wipes. Having to walk down Mount Ordeals. I'm like, okay, just do a fight. Try to get some momentum here. I felt it. I could see it in how you walked.
I would have been fine, except I accidentally used my only Ether one on Rosa, and I meant to use it on Palom. If I'd used it on him there, I wouldn't have had to take that walk and talk to a white bird. When's the last time I wipe at every overworld spot except for, I think, Ordeals 1 and Ordeals 3? This is just... I'm glad, bird. Actually, I feel a lot better that I'm talking now, because now I can laugh about it. The last hour and a half, I've just been holding it in.
the white chocobo.
I
Yeah.
will say that's
White Chocobo saved me.
Is that the white chocobo ashamed now?
Nah, he's
No,
my
there's
buddy.
no
What were we
shame
gonna say,
there.
Batasia?
I was gonna say there's a certain skill level that comes in with getting past the tilt, though, and it seems like once you got on the roll, I mean, you made every right call. That Earth Crystal, we were hoping because that Earth Crystal had money for you, not having to go back and turn in that Sand Ruby. If it weren't for uh, that being the Sand Ruby being there, it could have gone either way.
Oh, so
Rhybon opted.
didn't do it.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, Rhybon did not do it. In addition, he never got because he never got the Cecil and he didn't do Earth Crystal. He didn't have exit on Rosa, so he ended up having to warp out of the lunar subterrane. But we were kind of wondering there for a second if even though you're at 5 or 6, if Moon ends up being a Zonk, you were in go mode before he was. So it could have been a lot closer, just depending on what was on the moon. Now it didn't end up playing that way, but we have to reiterate kind of over and over, this race was much tighter and closer than the final time would indicate.
Yeah, that's fascinating. That must have been interesting from a viewer's perspective. I had such a rough early game, and yet still maybe there was a slim chance. But I guess it makes me a little bit more disappointed at my early game. I guess Rhybon did a little extra shopping and found the dancing daggers, but it was just amazing. Like, okay, Pale Dim, and I couldn't keep anyone up. Okay, let me go to Fabul. It's Baigan. It's just one after the other. Mom Bomb at the back attack. Yeah, I mean, heck of a roll.
And
yeah, and it felt like at every spot that you were encountering the enemies, like the spot was custom built to counter the parties that you had. Paled him so that you couldn't, leverage Palom's magic, immediately right there, or you had the CPU fight. So hey, you're black mages who should have nuke. You can't really leverage that right now. Like everything was custom built to frustrate the party comp that you had.
Wiping at Plague after my grind, it's just it's hilarious. It's something I have to find a way to take some fun at, but yeah, I don't know what else.
But like I said, yeah, Rhybon actually did find the dancing daggers relatively early, and
that was really the difference. So
that made a big difference.
But luckily it's not an elimination race. That would have been a tough one to go out on. I'm still alive. I still get to play again, which is what we're all here to do. So another little positive I can take out of it.
Yep, so you're gonna go in. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Ninja.
Oh no, I'm fine.
I was gonna say, so now you're going into the final week, 3-1. I don't think this is a must-win for you. I think 3-2, you'd at least be on the cusp. But 3-1, there's going to be some solid folks in our group that I'm in with you. What are you looking forward to? Because I think you've already raced. If I'm looking at it, Golden Shocker could potentially be 3-1.
Could Vitasia be 3-1?
Vitasia could be 3-1, depending on.
I want Vitasia next.
I know that guy's a scrub. He'd be an easy win for the 3-1.
Exactly.
Right?
No, that'd be a good race. Let's make it happen. I'm assuming you haven't raced yet, so you got to win, and then the wheel has to roll on us, I think, and let's make it happen.
Yeah, I'll be in New Jersey for my race because that's when that was the times that we had open to schedule. So.
Yep, and even though that is my home state, I will not be in that state. So the irony there.
Well, ironic. So, but either way, it's just GG's. Any final thoughts on this seed before you purge it from your hard drive forever?
What seed? I don't know what you're talking about. Everyone have a great night. See ya.
Yeah, okay, have a good night.
Take care. All right. One last time. That was just a fantastic race. Rhybon versus Korgs. Rhybon taking the win. moving on to 4-0 in the D Machine group. One last time, I want to give a shout out to the entire Restream team. Alisale for putting on the Restream, Xenocat for the wonderful tracking, and Ninja, my wonderful co-commentator. Always wonderful working with you, man.
And I also want to, sorry.
No, that's fine. So with that said, I think we are going to kind of slow walk this a little bit because as soon as they go live over on Free Enterprise 2, we're going to raid them almost immediately as soon as they go live. Remember, that's going to be Tall Grant versus John Burkhead. That is a 2-in-1 race that is going on over in the Warlock group. So that's going to be a fantastic race that goes on. Dance party until then. Otherwise, have a great rest of the evening, everyone, and we'll see you at the next race. Take care.